Hey, I've got to say I'm a little bit disappointed with myself. I've just arrived to watch Madam Web, and unless I bring my glasses, I'm pretty much blind and can't see the screen. So unfortunately, I did remember to bring my glasses. Disappointed in myself.
Hi everyone, it's Az here from Heel vs Babyface. It's been approximately a day since I saw Madam Web and I've pretty much forgotten everything. One thing that does linger though is the thought that it was possibly one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. And I just saw The Marvels a few months ago. Whereas this was a different kind of bad to The Marvels, it's not an excuse. The film has a reported budget of $80 million, meaning that it's got to hit somewhere in the region of $200 million to break even. Now, in today's day and age, you might be thinking, well, that's not too much to do, but I've seen the film, and they might as well rename it to Mission Impossible to get their money back. Long gone were the dulcet tones of Natalie Imbruglia singing Torn to Me before the movie started. And there I was in the thick of it, thinking to myself, how on earth am I going to describe this movie to you, the audience? So I came up with this tweet. Madam Web, a woman saves a pigeon, meets 3 sluts, and teaches them CPR. The end. Oh, sorry, Soskers. Didn't mean to give out any spoilers there. But now that the 90-second mark of the video is passed and potty language may ensue, let me just show you my immediate reaction from leaving the cinema last night.
Just come out of Madam Web. That is possibly the worst film I've ever seen in my life. Just a death knell in this whole superhero, let's just fucking shit something onto the screen, and those fucking stupid idiots, they'll eat up anything from the script to the acting to the directing to the editing. This whole thing was a fucking embarrassment. About an hour in, I just couldn't stop laughing. I couldn't stop laughing at how fucking bad it was. I must have seemed like a madman. Everything, just nobody gave a fuck, and it showed. So congratulations, Sony, you've killed your Spider-Verse before it's even begun.
I think that was actually one of the nicest reviews that I could possibly give for something like this, and it has nothing to do whatsoever with this. Man removed from Madam Web screening for masturbating to Sydney Sweeney, Julia Carpenter, Spider-Woman. Wasn't me, you can't prove a thing. You boy.
Have you ever shoved anything in your own ass? Of course, duh.
Even the well-endowed Sydney Sweeney couldn't help this absolute cluster of a film. But hey, let's play a little game, shall we? All of these events happen in Madam Web, except one. Can you guess which one is the lie? Madam Web is born in a cave in Peru with the help of magic spider people. This is correct. The 3 spider women never get powers and are only seen in costumes during dream sequences. This is correct. Evil Spider-Man is killed by a large Pepsi sign. This is correct. Madam Web becomes wanted for kidnapping by the NYPD. This is correct. Madam Web runs down evil Spider-Man in her car twice. No. Once in a car, another time in an ambulance that's flying through a sign that's about 30 foot in the air. Don't worry about it. Peter Parker is born but not named. Correct. Madam Web inexplicably splits into 3 ghost-like copies of herself near the end of the movie. Correct. Joke's on you. They're all correct. Let's just go back to that Pepsi sign, shall we? Yes, the product placement in this movie was so egregious with Pepsi, handing each other Pepsis, holding the Pepsis at the camera. Even the finale of the movie, which took place, and I shit ye not, in a firework factory, had a huge Pepsi sign on the fucking roof of the firework. Product placement. This video has been sponsored by Go Fuck Yourself for all your Go Fuck Yourself needs. Terms and conditions may apply. Let's just go back to this breakdown, shall we? Madam Web discovers that she has some sort of I can see the future powers and decides to give it a go by opening a window for a pigeon that flew into
Have you ever shoved anything in your own ass? Of course. Duh.
Madame Web then uses these powers to see the deaths of 3 young ladies, which she saves, takes them out of New York to prevent them from being murdered by nasty Spider-Man, where she leaves them in the middle of a fucking wood for 3 hours and tells them to wait until she comes back. Quelle surprise! The girls that just got murdered decided to not wait at the campsite for 3 fucking hours in the pitch black and went to a local diner where they meet up with a bunch of college student boys, guys type of jock men who don't say a word to them, but regardless of that, they decide to get up on their table and dance like a load of whore. Madame Web then saves them from being murdered again by the evil Spider-Man bloke chap by running him over. Yes, the same guy which dies later to a pee on the Pepsi sign falling on top of him. Ah! He said as he died. After that, she takes the girls to a hotel room where she inexplicably decides to teach them CPR. And for the next 15 minutes of the fucking movie, they each take turns to do compressions on a fucking cushion. And I really do wish that I was kidding, but I'm not. This film, honest to God, feels like it was written by ChatGPT, and I'm legitimately, genuinely, 100% not sure that it wasn't. The dialogue and the plot are absolutely horrendous. I was laughing, visibly in the cinema, laughing at how bad the script became. It was pathetic. Pathetic to the point of parody. The special effects were at best, but the editing was horrendous, with jump cuts every 2 seconds to disguise the fact that nothing was actually happening in terms of action whatsoever. And whereas this movie wouldn't be what would be today classed as woke, that doesn't excuse anything whatsoever. A movie's still got to be good, fun, or entertaining at the very least, and this didn't hit any of those criteria whatsoever. Dakota Johnson might be pretty damn funny right now doing a press tour slagging off the film, but the simple fact is the acting in this movie is horrendous. It really was embarrassing to see the level of phone it in on the screen, as if there was no true direction, motivation, or the actors simply had no clue what was going on at any point in time, and therefore their performances were flatter. Oh, I'm gonna have to say it because you stood next to Sweeney. Flatter than Dakota Johnson's chest. But
Have you ever shoved anything in your own ass? Of course. Duh.
Word of mouth is gonna spread about how bad this film actually is, and the Rotten Tomatoes score as we speak stands at a horrific 13%. And these are the people that will sell their soul and integrity for 50 fucking bucks. What do I give this out of 10? Dog shit. It's dog shit out of 10. I'm never going to watch this film again. You're never going to watch it. You're simply here for the shits and the giggles, and I get that, and I appreciate that. It's going to get memory hold like Morbius or whatever that fucking vampire shite was called. Nobody's going to care, and in a week's time, it's going to be dead. I'll see you in the next video. You take care. Bye for now.